Since I started shooting on YouTube, everything I've said has happened, especially things that were going to happen. I said Raila used to have access to Ida through prison warders. Hey, I was lynched. Later on, while there was an ODM meeting in Voi, he introduced one of the prison warders. And an impromptu harambe was done that former prison warder got 100,000 shillings on the spot. I have said a lot of things, some unbelievable, but they come to happen. But today I want to talk about 3 that I failed of mark. One thing, I'd say this: nobody's perfect, so I cannot predict things 100%. Maybe it is because of my saying the truth that people have even started saying that I'm an agent of passing certain information from certain people, especially those in power. But then let me talk about the 3 things that I predicted and they failed. I predicted that Professor Edward Waswa Kisiangani would be head of the civil service. That one I predicted. When the list of the heads of civil servants, the names of PSS came, he was made a PS in Information Act, Information and Digital Economy. That is one place I was wrong. The second place that I was wrong was that I predicted that Lieutenant General retired Muhammad Badi would be the Chief of Defense Forces. We all know General Francis Ogola took it. In fact, a lot of people, even before airing that, we had talked with a lot of people, and that majority were saying Omondi will take it, but me, I stuck and said Badi will get it. But you see, I was wrong there. I have no excuse, I have nothing. I was wrong. The third and final, I was not 100% wrong. It is half right, half wrong. There were talks about the presidential standards. And these talks came when somebody from somewhere floated out a green-colored presidential standards and said this is going to be Ruto's presidential standards. I said no. I gave my verbal definition of what it will be. And somebody asked me a question. I described it, and it became the way I had described it. But some people kept on asking me, don't you think there will be a wheelbarrow somewhere? I said, no way, there will be no wheelbarrow. But then it came, and there was a wheelbarrow there. As an intelligence officer, I have to do post-shooting assessment. I'm so used to saying assassination. I have to talk about post-uploading assessment. A lot of people, if you look at that green presidential standards, kwa wale amjui presidential standard ni ile bendera ya president. For those who saw the presidential standards, the green one, you will notice that it is exactly the one that the president is now using. The only difference between the green one and the one that he is now using is that the one he has yellow as a prominent color. And of course, when I was predicting, I kept on insisting that yellow must be a prominent color. My own assessment, post-event assessment, is that because before they showed it out, I had said that there's no way it could be green because Jomo Kenyatta's presidential standards were blue and Uhuru was blue but of a different shade. Moi's presidential standards was green. Now I said if Ruto places a green one, he'd be declaring he's Moi's son, and people will look at it and say they were both Kalenjins and such a thing. So my opinion here, an expert opinion, is that that green presidential standard, which mysteriously just came to the social media, there is somebody from authority who was floating it. Where they were, they had around 6 to 8 different whatever. So they came up with the one maybe they really wanted, and they wanted people to criticize it. And they saw people are comfortable with it, but people are not comfortable just with color. So they replaced green with yellow. That is presidential colors. Mwai Kibaki's presidential colors were white. When you become a head of state of several countries, including Kenya, you have your own flag. And that flag is more important than the national flag. You will notice that during President Uhuru's tenure, 2 presidents died. First of all, President Moi died. Then President Kibaki died. The president ordered for a number of days for all the flags to fly at half-mast. Police flags, KW, Kenya Forest, KDF, the national flag, and even flags of other countries which are here. For example, in embassies. But the presidential standard does not lower. It means that the president, Shaka Zulu, when the mother died, he mourned until it shows that even if I'm mourning, but I'm still in full control. It means even if I'm mourning, I'm in full control. Now, what happens with the presidential standards after you leave service? When a new president comes in, the presidential standard of the former president, outgoing president, is lowered, and immediately after being given the sword. Remember, the flag represents him as an askari. So when he's given the sword, then the former flag goes down, then the new one goes in. And the president is escorted to his home as a commander-in-chief, where, but you see, some of these things are just done with slight changes here and there. Like when Moi went to Kabarak, there was a parade march past, and there was even a fly past by jet fighters. But I didn't see that one happening when Kibaki left or when Uhuru left. But when Moi left, that is happened. And then as you go to your retirement home, you are given the presidential standards, yours, so you keep it in the house. And when that president dies, then the vehicle that is carrying his, you know, he'll never fly that presidential standard again. But when he dies, there is this Land Rover which they stand on top for parade. The casket of the president is placed on it. When it is placed on it, then the president does, I mean, the Land Rover or the hearse that is carrying his body has two flags, just the way he was when he was the president. And it will be given to the family to be kept in the mausoleum forever. It will never be flown. Thank you.